Hi, this is Shaw, and I'm a member of the IPSWITCH IT team. Today I will be talking about WhatsConfigured. Next, I will access the WhatsConfigured task library and create a new task. This library allows me to set up a scheduled task that will run on selected devices using a defined schedule. It also allows me to add, remove, or change login credentials on selected devices. Let me show you how to create a scheduled task. Click New. We'll accept the default task and click OK. Fill in the name for the task. We'll call it Startup Config. The description will be Backup Startup Config. I will select the Backup Startup Config from the script library. As you can see, I have the option to select one of the custom scripts I created earlier, or click here to add a custom script. Now I will select the devices I want this task to run against and click OK. Let me click the Threshold tab. On this tab, I can select the events that will trigger a notification when this task runs. First, I need to enable the threshold by selecting this checkbox. I will give the threshold a name. We'll call it Startup Config Backup. Now we'll select when I should be alerted. Let me go through what each of these options are. Detects configuration changes on a device will alert me when changes are detected on the device from the last time the configuration file was backed up. Fails to run for a device will alert me that there was a problem running this task on the selected devices. This could occur because of a bad credential or the device is offline. Successfully runs for devices confirms that the task ran without any issues. Let me take a moment to set up and explain WhatsConfigured policies. In order to associate a policy to a task, you must first create a policy in the WhatsConfigured policy library. You do this by clicking on the Configure button. Next, select New. Enter a name for the policy. I will call this one SSH, and the description will be checks configuration to verify that SSH version 2 is enabled. Now enter the pattern. Our pattern will be IPSWITCH version 2. Here you can decide if you want to use a regular expression or ignore upper or lowercase letters. You can also exclude patterns, which means that the information you enter here is not expected to be in the configuration file. If the pattern is found, then this task will fail the policy. I will click OK. I have the option to audit the policy by clicking on the Audit Now button and selecting the device to audit. Next, I will click on Audit. This device passed the audit, and if we view the results, we can see that SSH entry is in the configuration file. Let me close these windows to get back to the task. Now that we have the policy selected, let's move to the notification policy. Per the instructions here, I will need to configure the notification policy via the web interface. First, I will click on the Go button and select Alert Center, then Notification Policy. I can create a new policy by clicking on the New button and entering a name. We'll use Startup Config. Next, I can select the step when the associated notification will be sent. In this case, it will be in step 1, and then I will click OK and close the dialog box. Now I can return to the console and select the notification policy. Let's move to the Schedule tab. On this tab, you're able to control the interval and the start time that the task runs. I will run this task every Friday at 8 a.m. You can limit the number of configuration files that are stored in the database. The default is set to 5. I will click OK to return to the previous window.